It is absolutely very easy to succeed in Dubai, and it's crazy. It's crazy to me. I hope this audio is coming through. I really hope so. It is crazy to me how easy it actually is. Dubai is one of those places whereby success, if you're coming from Africa, that is. Okay, let me give you a scenario of the person I'm talking about. This is someone coming from Africa, someone from a very, very poor family. I'm talking about someone like me, whereby you have so much responsibilities back home. The small money that you're making is probably always gonna go to family, and you decide, okay, life is not going to happen for me. You have big dreams, you want to have all the big things that people actually have, or the big assets in terms of financial, and you decide, okay, I think I'm gonna travel abroad and make some money abroad because the grass is greener on the other side. That is the kind of person I'm talking about. And coming to Dubai, there are so many stories, obviously, of people coming from Africa with degrees, and they end up working in blue collar jobs. They end up really never stabilizing. And some of the problems that cause these, they are the same. They are usually the same for different individuals as well. So after some time, I took time to do some research, and turns out it's kind of very easy to succeed in Dubai if you just follow the plan. There is a plan, and if you follow it step by step, it is so easy. It's incredible how easy it is. And how I started this research was essentially, it wasn't even about me. Usually I do things starting from me. It wasn't about me. It was someone who came to me. They had just traveled from Uganda, and they had quit their job working in a financial firm in Uganda, and they are an accountant, a qualified accountant. Can you imagine? They were working in Uganda. They were being paid 400 dirhams, but that is in Uganda shillings. It was 400,000 Uganda shillings, which is really, really small money. And trust me, it is not a surprise. It's not a surprise. So many people in Uganda are being paid that amount. They're qualified, and it's no surprise. It's just Tuesday. It's a normal thing. It's just Wednesday. So they had just come to Dubai, and they were looking for a job, and they were frustrated that the agents who brought them to Dubai, they were taking them to do a job as a lifeguard. Thank God they knew how to swim, right? And they were so frustrated. In a way, they were talking to me like, hey man, this was a friend that we had a long conversation from LinkedIn, which is a very professional site, right? So they were talking to me like, Monica, I cannot believe I'm going to work as a lifeguard. I'm a qualified accountant. I have so much experience. There is so much that I could do. Why am I ending up working as a lifeguard in Dubai? And I could really feel their frustration, right? Because this is the life I've lived. But with so much uncertainty, I didn't even know how to advise them. It just came to me, and I was like, hey, you know what? Do that accounting, do that lifeguard job, but invest in this and this course. At the time, I had just completed but some of the things I did by accident, right? I did many courses in social media marketing. So at the time, I just completed one of the courses, and when I applied for jobs, I got so many interviews. At that time, I wasn't really looking for a job. I wasn't looking to switch the job that I had, so I did not switch. So I gave them the advice, like, okay, do this and this course. I gave them a bunch of courses that I thought were relevant to them. They didn't do the courses that I recommended because obviously I don't really understand accounting. They went ahead and did a small course that was somehow relevant towards their, accounting profession, accounting industry. I don't know if but it's a profession, right? So when they went ahead and did that, I gave them that advice. I'm like, invest your first income towards getting that course done. And then after, you can apply for jobs. Then maybe you will have a better chance of getting jobs, right? And guess what? 6 months later, this person is giving me an update of like, hey, I did this course and I recently applied and I got an interview and I'm hoping they'll give me the job. Actually, spoiler alert, I did not really follow up to know if they got the job, but that's when it really hit me and I'm like, this plan really works. I didn't follow up with this, right? I don't know why. Actually, I should check in. But I started giving this advice to many more people, many more. Of recent, a friend of mine really close, who has even come here and stayed. Like, she is really, really close to me. We went to medical school together. When she came to Dubai, I landed on her. I was out for a jog and I saw, I was like, hey, hey, hey. And, I was so excited meeting someone from medical school that we went to med school together. It was so exciting. And she too was kind of in a similar situation, but not really, She had just come to Dubai to try it out because she's a very, very bright person, excelled in school. Like, she could really do well even in Uganda. It might be slow, but she could definitely do it. But anyways, she too had come to try out to Dubai and I was giving her the very same advice. And she first got a job. She was encouraged by the people she was around, surrounding herself, to work as a barista, give coffees. And she was frustrated, like, yo, Monica, I am a medical doctor. And I'm like, yo, think about it in a way that you are backpacking for a year. You're backpacking for a year. Take it as if it's an experience that you can always tell your fellow doctors or your patients about, like, oh, I spent a full year giving coffees. I've watched so many people, real doctors, tell stories of the time they were, serving liquor as the waiters and waitresses. Do they call them waiters? Like, they spent time, maybe they are in medical school, but they are trying to make some money. I told her like that, like, consider it like that. So you can feel the comfort of, this is not my life. This is just for a moment. It's just a year. And this brings me back to the small video I made a little bit earlier about people setting very short-term goals when they come abroad. People tend to be like, oh, I'm going to be abroad for just 2 years. I'm going to be abroad for just, 1 year. And that is very bad. That is risky. Don't do that. So if you're going to take 1 year just figuring things out, that means that's 1 year gone, right? So you need to plan long term, include that year, be like, okay, this is the year I'm going to spend learning the grounds, learning my way around the city, knowing people, socializing, and not putting myself under pressure. Like, I need to make money, right? So anyway, I gave this advice to this friend of mine from medical school, and she took that, she took the advice. I do hope so, but I think she did, because she took things slower, started applying for her license, and 6 months down the road, she's been serving coffees, and she's already moved into the medical field. It takes some kind of calmness. It takes some kind of long-term plan. I cannot name everyone that I've given this advice to, but this advice definitely works. Now, another good example is someone I met recently. I did not give this person the advice prior, but when I was having a conversation with them, this is exactly the plan that they followed. They came to Dubai. They had only senior 6 graduation or senior 6 certificate from Uganda. For those of you who don't know that, in Uganda, senior 6 certificate, you're considered a dropout. So that is the only qualification they carried to come to Dubai. And they came under a company which took them into a cleaning job. They were being paid 1,200 dirhams for 2 years. I think he told me they increased his salary to like 1,300 towards the end of the 2 years. And for 2 years, that is the amount of money that they made. 1,300, okay, let's say 1,200. Not a lot of money. And he told me that at first, he was under pressure to send money back home, which wasn't enough. If you're making 1,200, and from what I know, the problems in Africa, they can't be solved by that 1,200, which means you're spending a big chunk of that money back home, right? And by the end of the year, you have nothing. You still have nothing, and the problems in Africa are still there, my friend. So anyway, this guy decided that, like, after a couple of months, maybe 6 months, he's like, you know what? I'm going to invest in myself. They invested in a course of chef. So they invested all their money. He told me he paid 7,000 for the whole course to get certificates, you know. And after that, he changed jobs. This was 2 years. Now, if you're counting, these are 2 years which he considers wasted. He hasn't really started to work abroad. They are gone. Some of you are planning 2 years and go back home. It's not gonna work. So after 2 years, he gets into the industry that he has been trying to get into. And his starting salary in the industry was around 4,000, which is not a lot of money. But he has been growing over years. It's been 4 years. Okay, minus the 2, right? It's been 4 years. And right now he's being paid 15,000 because he's really good and passionate. This is his chosen career. This is something he is so interested in. His chosen profession. Right now, 15K. And this brings me towards the end of this video. When I say success guaranteed, if you follow my plan, I don't mean, private jets. I mean a comfortable, realistic, yes, middle income life, but very comfortable and far beyond what you could have achieved had you not left Africa, had you not followed this plan. Many of us have spent here many years, and for all these years we've been fighting with the system instead of just settling down and accepting, like, you know what, this is it, this is my life. We've been fighting with the system, fighting at every step. 2 years, next year I'm going back home. All I need is to make 50,000 dirham and I'll go 100K, that's it. Fighting with the system instead of just accepting that this is a journey, this is going to be our life. So what is the plan? If you're smart enough, I'm sure you've already figured it out, but if I may spell it out for you, the plan is very simple. Come to Dubai. You are poor, don't forget that. This place has many opportunities. Or whichever country you go to, it may not be Dubai only, but settle down and work long term. Work in a way that the first 2 years, I'm just going to be figuring things out and saving money to invest in myself. It could be investing in a more comfortable living space, because when you widen your space, sometimes you also widen your opportunities. It could be saving towards, education. Education is always a must. I actually think education is a big part of this plan. Yes, not sending all your money back home and trying to save every little bit and thinking, okay, I'm growing financially, but education, investing in yourself to begin with, is the plan. Every one of these stories that I've told you, people had to invest in themselves. The guy who came and worked as a lifeguard, he had to invest towards getting a certificate, towards his accounting, right? My friend who is a doctor had to invest money in getting licensed for her to be able to get into the medical field from serving coffees. The guy I met recently who is a chef, for me, that is the best story. In fact, I'm going to try to persuade him to have an interview with him, maybe on this channel. I'm sure if the advice is coming from him, maybe it's gonna mean more to you guys. It's like, you're not taking my advice. And my own life story. I went to medical school, but I had to study social media marketing for me to be able to get jobs around marketing and sales. I could have ended up, I don't know where. I never used to get interviews, but with my certificate, it's like, okay, we want to hear you out. Tell us. Okay, that's it, you guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.